That addictive supercomputer in your hand doesn't need to be a distraction. Smartphones are smart. They're designed in such a way to keep you using them as much as possible. And all of the apps we use are based on user retention. Just take a look at YouTube, for example. YouTube cares mainly about watch time on videos, and so do I, so don't click away just yet. Watch time is the main factor on any social app, and they are all at war for your attention. Your attention is a hot commodity. We aren't blind to this either. We know that all these apps want our attention, but we're stuck swimming in the infinity pool of content because the nerds at these big tech companies know exactly how our brains are wired. So we sit there doom scrolling and then suddenly realise that we can no longer feel our legs and think to ourselves, I should really get up and go back to work. A 2017 study by HackerNoon showed that Americans on average spend over 4 hours a day on their smartphone, and I can only imagine that it's gone up since then. I'm not saying that smartphones are evil and that we should go back to using Nokia 3310s. In fact, I think smartphones are one of the greatest inventions that mankind has ever cooked up. What I do wonder though is how many of you have aspirations for projects that you want to get working on? Whether that's building a business, studying a new subject, or building a Lego Death Star. And how many times have you sat down to get started and then got distracted by notifications, emails, and TikToks? Did you even get to the stage of sitting down to start at all? There's no shame in it. No shame at all, and I've been through the exact same thing. There've been plenty of times where I've sat down to go and get some work done and then just suddenly watched one quick YouTube video or started messaging some friends. I soon decided that I had had enough of the distractions when I wanted to focus on what was important to me. So I made a few tweaks to some things on my phone so I can minimize the distractions and get on with the important stuff. And I'll show you exactly what I did. First of all, I muted most of my chat notifications on WhatsApp, especially the group chats I'm included in. I don't need to see memes straight away or know that my friend has just taken a massive shit. I can see all that when I'm chilling downstairs. And sometimes see it I do if he's proud enough to take a picture. Of course, many times I've looked at my phone and found that there's 100 messages that I need to skim through to catch up with the banter. But none of it is urgent enough to distract me from writing these videos. Plus, I still get notifications if they were to reach out and message me privately for something important. So, do yourself a favour and mute those chats. If you find any of these changes particularly helpful for minimizing distractions while you work, then please go ahead and tap on that like button to help spread this video to more people. Make it harder to get onto social apps. I've completely removed social apps from the front screen of my phone, so I need to actually open up the app tray and scroll down to find them. Creating more friction between yourself and the simple act of opening the app actually reduces the amount of time you go on it. An idea I got from the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. In the book, he goes deep into the idea of building your environment to make good habits easier to do and bad habits harder and more effort. And I would say that opening your social apps 60 times a day is a bad habit. I briefly mentioned this in my video about healthy habits I'm building in 2022. Get those social apps off your front screen so they're not the first thing you see when you unlock your phone. The next thing I've done with these apps, which is an amazing feature by the way, is to set app timers. In the settings, you can set daily limits for almost all the apps on your phone. Once you hit that limit, the app will close and you're locked out until the next day. I've been using this for a while now and it's helped greatly reduce the amount of screen time I'm using each week. It can be very frustrating though when I find something funny on Twitter in between all of the rage. I try and show it to my partner and then suddenly it pops up saying goodbye for today. It's happened more than I like. But it's a small price to pay. It also helps not because you don't stay on it as long, but you also check it more sparingly to try and savour that time that you've set for yourself. And you do set the time yourself, by the way. It could be anything up to 24 hours, which would be pointless if you ask me. I've gone a bit extreme with mine, and I've set mine to 30 minutes for Twitter and Instagram each, every day. The sudden shutdown is a great method of snapping you out of that content-consuming trance. Don't have games downloaded. There's not really much more I can say on that one. Games are obviously designed to keep you playing as long as possible. The only game I play on my phone is Wordle, and that's web-based, so I don't even have to have an app downloaded for that. It is very exciting waking up and remembering there's a new word to guess though. Similar to the app timers, there's now something on smartphones called focus time. This essentially shuts down all of the apps on your phone and only allows notifications to come through from apps that you've whitelisted. I think this is kind of a new feature because there was an app that I used to use which did the exact same thing called Forest. The only difference with Forest is that it uses the Pomodoro technique whereby after 25 minutes or however long you set, of focused time, by the end of it, you would have a tree planted. The goal of the app is obviously to focus as much as possible on all your tasks and plant a forest. You don't get a forest in the phone settings. I only use the forest app for a brief period of time, and I don't use the focus time in my settings, but I just wanted to mention this so that you're aware that it's there. Perhaps I will try it out though. You know, I'm not superhuman. I still do get distracted sometimes. I like to be able to sit down and focus on getting a piece of work done and finished before I think about looking at distractions. I want to get the work done to the highest quality that I can and then have the social and YouTube as a reward after. We can't focus and work to the best of our ability if there's a vibrating black rectangle on the desk next to us. If we're in a flow state and we get distracted by our phone, it takes over 20 minutes to get back to the same level of focus that you had before. 20 minutes. This is just how I've tweaked my phone to minimize distractions, and I'm sure there's plenty of other things I can do too, and apps that I haven't even discovered yet. If there's something you've done with your phone that I haven't mentioned here, then let me know in the comments, just so myself and others can try it out. And while you're at it, let me know which one of these you're going to try out as well. I want you to finally get that important work done that you've been struggling with. Start building that business. Start building that Lego Death Star. You spent the money on it. If you enjoyed this video, then you might also enjoy my video talking about finding your flow state. And you can watch that right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you over there. Bye bye.